Alex, you've been ahead of the game so much on so many moves in the window in the short time the window's been open. And I know this is different. The window's open, then it's shut again, then it opens again. So this one's different. And are you seeing different behaviour amongst clubs at the moment?
Yeah, I think a lot of clubs are trying to get business done even earlier than usual. It closes, as you say, on Tuesday. Reopens, I think, 6 days later, June the 16th, right the way through until September the 1st. And we've got an early deadline as well. I think it's 5 o'clock this year, as opposed to 11 o'clock to fall in line with the rest of Europe. But I've got to say, last summer probably wasn't as eventful as usual. This one is going to be. Obviously, Liverpool have done business
already. How do you feel about my Liverpool doing all this business so far? Like, how do you feel as a United fan?
I think Richard Hughes is proving what a great operator he is. You know, he's taken a little bit of flack on social media unfairly, I think, from Liverpool fans because they haven't signed anybody really in the last couple of windows, but he's held his nerve. I think he's always maintained we're not just going to sign people for the sake of it. Now they're champions, probably unexpectedly, even in the corridors of power at Anfield. They want to strengthen from a position of authority. They've got Frimpong in the building. Interesting to see where he fits in because he's more of a wing-back than he is a full-back. I think they'll get Milos Kerkez out of Bournemouth as well for £40 million.
Great business.
And I think this Florian Wirtz deal will happen. And I think that's a game changer as far as Liverpool are concerned because what they've lost with Trent Alexander-Arnold, you can talk about his defensive capabilities or lack of, but they've lost a lot of creativity. They've lost that combination play with Mo Salah. And I think they see Florian Wirtz as someone who can replace those attributes. So Alex, it's been a good window so far.
We know Barcelona have been knocking on Liverpool's door. Luis Diaz, is there a latest on that? Does he stay?
I'll sell him.
I think he stays for now, but it doesn't look as if they're desperate to give him the new contract that he wants. So inevitably, I think at some point they'll have to cash in.
You're saying sell him?
Well, he's 27, 28 now. Is it 3 years? I mean, if you look at his stats, last year was his best season. Was it? You look at Mane in the past in that role, you look at Gakpo, what he can do out there now. I know they played him down the middle as a 9 in Europe and they figured out, hang on, we can get goals out of him. Look, at the end of the day, if they want to get a world-class number 9, and they already have Gakpo who's now making that role his own, and they have all this talent coming in, he's 28, 29 maybe, or 27, do the deal, sell him.
What we know about FSG, and Daryl will know this, we had Peter Moore, former Liverpool chief exec, in the studio last week, and he said, look, what I know about our owners is if they are going to go big in the window,
they'll go big.
They're going to want money coming back into the team.
At the back end. They'll spend 200 million now, but by the time August is finished, it'll be like net 30 million because they'll have sold all these ancillary players, the goalkeeper for 12 to 18.
I think it's a good deal for Brentford, by the way.
I think it's a brilliant deal. Excellent. I can't believe he's gone that cheap. And I think, they'll probably get 50 million from Saudi.
For Darwin Nunez. Talk about Halal, because it looks like the Osimhen move to Saudi is in jeopardy. Just on the subject here of is the Premier League still enough of a draw to rebuff the continental giants? I'm sure Luis Diaz would love to go and play for Barcelona. At the moment, Liverpool aren't advancing with those talks. One other player who could have come to the Premier League, England international, Angel Gomez, not in the current squad, but obviously has done well in previous squads. He was... Speaking of Tottenham, my understanding is that at one stage they were quite confident they would get that deal done. He spoke to West Ham as well. They were less confident. He's rejected both those offers from Spurs and West Ham. He's going to go and link up with Roberto De Zerbi at Marseille. He's available on a free transfer. His Lille contract expiring. I think that's quite interesting that someone who obviously wants to play at the World Cup, and I think there's an argument that he would probably have more of a chance if he was playing in the Premier League than by staying in France.
Wow. So European tournament winners Tottenham rebuffed for Marseille.
Indeed.
We'll get back to that. Ait-Nouri from Wolves to Manchester City. Is this going to happen? I think he's on international duty at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Algeria he's playing for at the moment, but talks are advancing. No fee agreed yet, but I think that's a formality. Both sides are expecting this deal to go through for around £33 million, which again I think is a good deal for a player who is proven in the Premier League, as Dara has said. I do worry a bit for Wolves, though. Mateus Cunha's gone out the door. Ait-Nouri is going to leave. Nelson Semedo, I don't think he's going to sign a new contract. That's three quite important players. And the sporting director, we broke this a couple of days ago, Matt Hobbs, is leaving the football club as well.
So they've still got Mendes.
They're going to change. Scenes, right? Well, I think Mendes is going to get an awful lot of control.
So it doesn't really matter about sporting directors. I mean, you look at all the players and the deals and whatever else. I think Wolves would be fine if the current manager stays.
Is he still as influential?
Yes.
I think he's going to get more influential because of this change at boardroom level.
So you think it's a matter of time before Ait-Nouri is announced at City?
Yes. And again, they want to get that deal done before June the 10th so that he can play the Club World Cup. Just one more while we're talking transfers. Just been given information there. We're expecting Manchester United to make a second offer now for Bryan Mbeumo at Brentford. We know that the first offer of 45 plus 10 was rejected. Brentford want around about the 60 million mark, because that's what United have paid for Mateus Cunha. I think this deal will get done.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Alex? You're a genius. The guy's gone from 50 grand a week to 250 a week, and you think the deal will get done? I can't believe those words of wisdom have just come through your microphone.
I think it will, but if you're Brentford, though, you want to make a fist of it right to the very end, don't you, Darren?
Brentford are the best shrewd operators in the Premier League. I think they've gone unnoticed a lot this season for what they've done. They're almost a victim of their own success. Top 10, the way they do their recruitment, their business. He's now at an age where cash in. They won't suffer.
Didn't you tell me, by the way, that Ivan Toney get a big Premier League club?
You're absolutely right. And speaking to his agent, hang on. No. He's absolutely right. But I probably told you that long before the ban.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.